Today, I'm going to make an app that lets you speak to animals using AI, but I'm going to cheat a little bit. Instead of just training a convolutional neural network to understand the minute differences between tone from animals' noises, which probably can't even communicate, I'm just going to use ChatGPT. If you've ever tried getting ChatGPT to talk like a dog, you may notice that it'll often glitch out and just return back to its helpful assistant mode if you dig too deep. To go around this, I'm going to use the OpenAI's Completions API to give custom instructions and really make ChatGPT believe it's an animal. Normally, I would start off by creating a new Unity project and going from there, but I can't do that for this kind of app. So instead, I'm just going to use Flutterflow. It's a pretty easy tool to work with and will let me publish this app to Android and iPhone. Flutterflow is pretty simple. So to start this project off, I'm just going to build a simple messaging system where you can send DMs to yourself in a conversation. I'll worry about message lists and extra stuff later. For now, I just want to get the API integrated. To get the API integrated, there's a few things I need to handle first. The first two are easy, but the last one will take some elbow grease. To start off, I need to get users authenticated. So I used a pre-made authentication page and connected it to a Firebase project, and just fine-tuned a few details with my own Google Auth key and Apple key. Then bam, authentication straight into a message. Next, I just need to secure an API key from OpenAI. For this, all I had to do was sign some agreements and promise to never use Gemini. And then bang, we're 2/3 of the way there to API integration. Lastly, I need to manage each user's tokens usage. Basically, each time someone sends a message to the AI, I get back a JSON file with the AI's response, the timestamp, and the length of the message. This is how they charge for their services, so I need to make sure that people can't just spam the AI with thousands of messages and cost me millions. Additionally, each time they send a message, it's added to the conversation history, and it has to be resent every time a new message is sent, meaning after 30 messages, there's thousands of words being processed and charged. To address the first issue, each user will be added to a global list where their token count is attached to their name with a key value setup. Then, each time someone sends a message, a cloud function is executed that subtracts the necessary amount of tokens from the appropriate user's reference. Then, at the end of the day, the list is reset so that everyone has their max token count again. As for the conversation length, I made it so that the entire conversation is stored in Firebase for reference each time, but only the current conversation is sent to the animal. So you can store 500 messages to an animal, but every time you close the app, it resets what you're actually sending. Here's what our current system looks like. Now it's time to add some more spice to the app. To begin with the upgrades, I added a messages list with a scrollable selection of conversations. Anytime the user starts a new conversation, it will be saved to their account and displayed here. Then I added a discovery section for people to pick pets to have a conversation with. I added about 20 different unique pets to start with. Most of these pets I got from my friends and family, and each are very different. My personal favorite pet is Bart. He's a macaroni penguin whose favorite hobby is going to pool parties with 43-year-old Wyomingian woman. I then added a settings menu with some pretty simple options. You can control your save data as well as suggest feedback and report bugs. Finally, I added a section for users to add their own custom pets. To do this, all you need to do is fill out a questionnaire which gives your pet a description as well as a photo for their profile. All custom pets are part of a global list and can be searched using the custom code. So I added an ability to share your pet's tag and search up other animals. At this point, I decided I would need to make the app somewhat profitable, as the API and storing all the account data would be pretty expensive. So I created a premium tier of the app, but I made it so that any paywalled features can be accessed just by watching an ad, so there's no need to spend money on anything. The last thing to do before publishing was test and see if there were any bugs. And actually, there weren't that many. So all there was to do now was create a store page, get approval, and let the downloads fly in. So it probably took close to 20 submission attempts. My uploads just kept on getting rejected over stupid stuff, but now Speak to Pets is published on both the App Store and Play Store, and anyone can talk to animals for free using AI. Alright, that's all for the second video. I plan on pivoting and trying something a little different with my next upload, but hopefully it's still good. I know it's been about a year since my last video, but I'm going to try and post a lot more regularly over this summer, with some more free time. Anyways, if you haven't already checked out my other videos on making a game in 1 week, then check those out, and thanks for watching.